Good morning. I'm doing music today. You don't want to hear me sing. Freebird, I heard it. Uh, if you're a guest with us today, welcome. But this is a little bit different than normal. It's okay. Michelle and I, I just back up. Most of y'all know I went back to seminary for. I keep saying I don't know why I'm going back, but I do know why I'm back because I still want to learn more. But I think I know I'm there for a reason as well. And I'm going back to class this week. I think this is my last time that I'll actually have to go to Dallas for a week and sit in class. The rest of it's just like paperwork or whatever. I'm pretty sure, except for the summer. So, but anyway, in thinking about my dissertation, I wanted to talk about how you move from an institutional ministry to a incarnational mindset. That's a short title for my dissertation. And everybody's like, well, what does that mean? Moving from a program-oriented ministry, which is what I learned the first time in seminary and what I learned in doing church most of my, not most, but 18 years, and moving to a incarnational, which is basically what Jesus did when he came in human form. Karna is meat. He came in flesh. And so he has this relational ministry, relational mindset. So moving to this relational, and I believe that everybody in here has access to me at some way or another, whether it's through my phone or emails or Facebook or messages or whatever. I try to make myself a relational pastor. I try to have people in my home, have high school students there on Wednesday night, and it's a good time. But in doing that, I had to write a paper and do research, and I started doing research and started hearing about this micro church. Well, I like small church. I'm not too much into the mega church. I've been in members of mega churches before. And so they have this conference in Tampa, and I'm like, okay, Spirit's leading me to go. Michelle looked at the thing, and she goes, I'm interested in going. So we both left Thursday, went to this conference, and at my age, at 62, you're like going, I'm pretty comfortable doing what I'm doing. And you can get this attitude of like, they can't teach me anything. And that's the wrong attitude. So we literally went with the spirit of what can we learn here? What can we do here? What's God going to do? And there were breakout sessions and there was some good stuff, but we met a lot of people. And obviously everybody's interested in what we're doing, but the thing is like they're all doing similar stuff too. It's like they've moved away from the whole. I met so many pastors that have like walked away from the big church. It's like we're done with this, that we realize that this whole thing is about relationships. And so to be in a group of like over 500 people that was like had the same common heart of just doing small church, which we got there the first night, and this young man comes up to us and says, he's 22 years old. He's like, where are y'all from? We're from Indiana. I had this conversation, and we're talking, and it was really good. It was like one of those moments where I thought, oh gosh, is the Lord telling me to bring this kid to Indiana? Which I do occasionally. but then he went and got his leader, and they came over and started selling us on how to do these micro churches. Well, when you have 8 to 16 people, then you multiply, and I'm like, oh gosh, did we just walk into a formula? Like, that's not what I'm looking for here. But it wasn't that at all. Wasn't that at all. Which is really good. So we went to these breakout sessions, and I kind of wanted to like go back and we sat at a table yesterday with a couple that we met and talked about what our takeaway was. And I think the takeaway for me was to re-emphasize to you what this ministry is about, because sometimes I think that we can get distracted with this. And so when my music people said, hey, we don't have anything this week, I'm like, I'm not going to chase somebody down to do music this week. Just, I don't have to perform on Sunday morning. I don't have to do a program. And the Lord just kind of said, maybe you should just share some of your notes. This one lady, this is the only thing I got from this one lady. It was kind of a bust of a class, but she said it's impossible for the brain to transform with information, which is what I give you on Sunday mornings. I give you information. But transformation of the brain comes through relationships. And that's why I say this community is not about this Sunday morning. Well, it is, but it's you guys interacting with each other and knowing each other and ministering to one another and just loving on one another in times of crisis. But then I went to this one small group, and the guy was, he lives in Orlando, and his wife, if you know Disney World, she has all the employees around the world showcase that sell stuff. So that's like a lot of employees. But he was a pastor, and he wanted to start a church plant for cast members of Disney World. And he said, I failed because even God can't outdo Walt Disney. So I thought that was awesome, that we're kind of as pastors taught how to do church like Disney, and so far past that. But he said that there's this church bubble that people have, and it's this what they expect church to be like, and you all know what that is, what it looks like. It's the glitz and the glamour, and you come in on Sunday morning and you pay your dues, and then you go and you do the rest of the week. It's this whole expectations of church bubble. But he pulled up John chapter 6, and I'll read it to you. It says, therefore, when many of his disciples heard this, they said, this teaching is hard. Who can accept it? And Jesus, knowing in himself that his disciples were grumbling about this, asked them, does this offend you? Then what if you were to observe the Son of Man ascending to where he was before? The Spirit is the one who gives life. The flesh doesn't help at all. The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and are life. This is Jesus talking. But there are some among you who don't believe, for Jesus knew from the beginning those who did not believe and the one who would betray him. So like from the very beginning, like before creation, he knew. He foreknew. He foreknew you would be sitting here today. He said, this is why I told you that no one can come to me unless it is granted to him by the Father. From that moment, many of his disciples turned back and no longer accompanied him. Like his disciples, his followers left Jesus. So Jesus said to the 12, you don't want to go away too, do you? Like, you're free. I mean, you're talking about the 12 that he chose. There were other disciples that he had that were following him, but he's like saying to these guys, if you don't want to buy into this, you're free to go. Simon Peter answered, Lord, to whom will we go? You have the words of eternal life. We have come to believe and know that you are the Holy One of God. Just one of the reasons we sing in that song at the end of the service lately. And so here's what this this presenter said was that this church bubble in John 6, Jesus didn't chase the crowd. Like I can honestly say in here, I don't know. There may be a handful of people in here that I've invited to Levener. Like when we literally started in 2007, the group of 4 elders, we sat around and said, can we just teach the Word of God and be in community with one another, not market this thing, not push this thing, just see what God does and not chase the crowd. And that's what we chose to do. He didn't repackage the invitation and try to sell people on what he was offering. And I believe the good news is such good news that you don't have to do that. Like if you just want to come here and hear the good news, that's great. And if you want to live in a community with friends and family and stuff like that and depend upon one another through Christ, that's great. The 3 temptations that we struggle with as a church was comfort, credibility, and control. And the problem is we've inherited that in this generation. That's what this generation, no, I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about the church as a whole. We've inherited this example model of what church is supposed to look like. It's taught in the seminaries. It's the big churches say, this is the way that you do it. This is the way that you do it. And you buy a fog machine and lights and wear a hoodie to preach in. I had to watch like 10 sermons for my class, and I watched this one guy. He had a hoodie on, and he's just like sweating and wiping sweat. I'm like, why don't you just take your hoodie off, dude? He's like, get comfortable. But anyway, they tell us that's the problem that we inherited, and he said we're liable if we kick that can down the road. It's like, oh man, like this is what we're going to sell our younger generation. Is this institutional church that you go to on Sundays and that's it? Live your life the rest of the time doing yourself. He said 3 things. Recenter our focus. So we have to move from church gravity to kingdom gravity. It's not about the church. Yes, the church is the bride of Christ, and you are the church. You are the bride of Christ. But we have to move to a bigger mindset. Like there's a kingdom. The kingdom of God is huge. And if we just focus on us, that kingdom misses out. If you really think it's just about us, and we can become selfish for sure. And he asked this question, is your vision to attract others to your church or to empower your people to thrive in the harvest? Ooh. Honestly, I could care less if you come here on Sunday mornings. What I do care about is you being a light in the world. Like that's all that matters. Like, yeah, I'm glad you come here. I love hanging out with you. You're welcome here. But hopefully you're learning here. You're learning from the Spirit inside of you. But what happens Monday to Saturday out there is the most important thing. Like you have the same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives in my mortal body, and he lives in your mortal body. And it's like you have the same thing that I have, and the same ability, the same knowledge, the same friends, same attachment to the world. You have that ability, and you can do that. And it's like, what are we doing here? Are we too inward focused? And then he said, second thing is redirect our flow from mass gravity to movement gravity. He said, and I love this because I tell our teenagers all the time is like, and I tell my own kids, your mission field could be people with name tags. Like when you go to the grocery store and you go to check out and the person in front of you is checking out, you can easily look at the cashier and the name on the name tag. And when you get up there and you call that cashier by their name, how are you doing, Maggie? That somehow these endorphins are released when they hear their name called. When a server in a restaurant comes to your table, look them in the eye because they're a person. Talk to them, call them by name. If they're not wearing a name tag, ask them what their name is. Your mission field could just simply be name tags. Like, if that's what you walk away with today, we're good. Is your strategy designed for accumulation or for release? The third thing he said is release our frontier explorers from consensus gravity to catalyst gravity. This is a common. I took a picture of what he had on the display. This is a common innovation curve that is just an industry standard. Like 2.5% are conceptors. They're like the early adopters. They're the ones that like get on board before everybody else. And then there's those that champion that. Like he used for an example the iPhone. They're the ones that are standing in line to get the iPhone on the first day. And they're going to figure this thing out even though it's not working properly the first few months. And then you got the curious crowd that watches the champions, and they'll eventually get on board. Oh, when this phone runs out, I'll get a new iPhone. But after I've watched everybody fix it and everything else. So and then you've got those that are the cautious crowd. They're like, I'm good with my phone. And then you have the critics, those that are still using Blackberries, and I won't ever go to an iPhone, but I would say that I'm probably somewhere in the first two. And he says this is focus and trust the 16%. So you had the 2.5% and the other 13.5%, the conceptors and the champions. He said focus on those 16%. Like, if there's 100% in here, I'm supposed to focus on like 16% of you. Commission their unique expressions, release them into the plentiful harvest. Specific focus on, he gave us these S words. Specific, unique voices, stories, and circles of influence. Like focus on those people. And then he said, keep it simple. Make it so an 8-year-old can understand it. I think I've said in here before that I taught youth ministry for years. And then when I got demoted to being a pastor, someone said, you need to continue to teach like you did to the teenagers. And so literally when I teach here on Sunday mornings, I teach to a 6th grade level because I have a vast knowledge of the Bible in here. Some don't know anything about the Bible. Some know great things about the Bible, but I tried to make it very simple. And then he said, keep it small, fit it around a dinner table. And this is where it hit, I think, for Michelle and I, is like, who are we bringing around our dinner table? I honestly think that's where ministry's done. We've learned that the church does this church thing, and then we do an invitation at the end, and we come forward, and people say this prayer, which is not biblical at all, and then we celebrate the decisions. But the truth of the matter is, it all happens in relationships in the outside world, not on Sunday mornings. Not to say people can't come to know the Lord through a message on Sunday morning, but the real belief has come through the week. Like sitting with people at a table and just hearing their heart and them hearing your heart, moving conversation. And then take it slow. Don't be in a hurry. There's no reason to force anything. It's taken a long time. Kurt, how long have you been my barber? 25 years. But you've only been coming here how long? Right after COVID. So it took about 20 years to get you here. And he's got his whole got no, I never did. Never invite. He said I never invited him. He's got his whole family here. His whole family comes here, and they're heavily involved. And it's a slow burn. And that's the way it happens. Is like longevity. Just keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and you build relationships with people. He said, God is in the slow fermentation of people. It's about the journey, not the destination. And look at the one S word that's not on there. There's no sexy on this list. Like we don't have to make this sexy. It is what it is. Yeah, so I'm on this journey. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring things out. I'm still how do I touch the lost? How do I build relationships with the lost? I think one of the ways for me is being a chaplain. Being a chaplain, and you end up in people's homes that you've never known before. And being with the police, just supporting them and encouraging them and loving on them and building relationships. It's taken a long time. Been there 15 years now, and to be able to look at the police chief and say I love you, and he in turn says I love you back, took a long time. And so you build trust with people by just having meals with them. I highly encourage you to think about just opening up your house and just inviting your neighbors, and just that's all Jesus did. I mean, what's the last thing he did? He had a supper with his disciples. He ate with them and just loved on them and cared for them. I'm leaving, but I'm leaving you in charge. It's a perfect example. So saying all that, I'll do this real quick because I'm going way long. But I know that you all are doing ministry out there, and some of you are constantly asking me, how can I get involved? Well, I don't have a place for you to get involved, but there's people out there that do. So real quick, if you can just stand and say, hey, we got a group that's meeting around a table, and this is when we meet. If you can do that real quick, can you? Yeah, Matt, go. Take that microphone there, because that other room down there can't
A
hear
men's Bible study at my house, 7:30, 8:30 on Friday mornings. And so men are always welcome.
And what are you studying right now?
We just finished up 2 Timothy, so we'll decide where we're going next.
That's good. Right on. Somebody else? Over here, Mindy. If you could raise your hand over here and then raise your hand over here and watch Jim get some steps in, that would be great.
We have a women's Bible study at my house Wednesday nights, 6:30. Sometimes we have dinner before at 5:30. So we just finished up Luke and going to be reading a book next. So Wednesday nights, all are welcome. Women.
Is it any age? Yeah. Robert?
We have middle school youth group. At least we started. We need to start it back up at Holly and I's house. We got to figure out what date upcoming, but it's turned out to be about once a month. We don't study anything in particular. We just make sure that we have some good fellowship time and then a little bit of word at the end of the thing, but would love any help as well as to see those kids. So, thanks.
Yeah, 6th through 8th grade. And I have the high school students, 9th through 12th grade, at our house, Michelle's house, on Wednesday nights, 6:30. We feed them, sit around the table. They just sit around the table and talk and hang out, and then we have a discussion. Sometimes it gets deep, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we just play pickleball out in the cul-de-sac. But yeah, it's on Wednesday night. Yeah, Robert.
I am Robert. That was Nick Ford that just spoke
Yeah.
about that. Me and my wife have, I don't know the age group. We say young. You decide what that is. Couples or not, kids are welcome, but every other Monday we meet up, have a meal. Haley cooks something delicious, and we either just talk about life or go through some verses, share about what we're doing.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that group existed until like 2 weeks ago. They met like at
Secret.
Torchy's Tacos, and we saw them there or whatever. Yeah, so that's cool. There's so much that happens that I don't know, which is a great thing. I don't have to know everything. Where are you going, Keith?
I do a variety of them. So Monday nights, when we feel like it, we meet at our house at 6:30, and you are welcome. You just got to get like in the communication circle to know which Monday nights we're doing. I meet most weekdays 7 to 8:15 at the Harvest Market in Carmel with whoever shows up, and Tuesday nights. Most Tuesday nights, many you'd have to check to see right here at 6:30. So that's what I got going on. And Monday nights, we're just trying to teach people how to execute. We were going through the Bible, but what's it look like to execute? Tuesdays, we're talking about how to one-on-one disciple another man. Women could come, but I don't know how to do one-on-one women discipleship. And then usually at the Harvest Market, whatever's stirring somebody's soul.
We need another mic. We need another mic.
Dan Lukey, Thursday nights, 6:30. We have a small group. Generally have dinner, and then we talk about whatever the Spirit leads us to talk about
And that just meets at random homes.
at random homes.
You just have to get on the list.
Get on the communication list. Yep.
Yeah,
Thursday night, 6:30.
yeah, Jeff.
So Saturday mornings, there's a group of guys that get together. A lot of them are from Leavener, and a few are not from Leavener. It's more topical, and we also just talk about stuff going on in our lives. It's Saturday. We've moved around a little bit, different places here in Fishers. Right now, we're at Cheeky Bastards.
It's a great restaurant, by the way.
It's really good.
It's a little weird, but it's the people are so good, and its food is amazing. Yeah.
Our server, Hope,
Yes.
after
Sweet
our
lady.
third or fourth time there, she said, I love serving you guys. You guys talk about great stuff. I've never heard about God this way. So it's having an impact. And anybody's welcome. Diane is one of our regular visitors. Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah, over here, Kyle.
The young adult, young parent group meets currently at Maddie and I's house on Tuesdays, 6:30. Thank you, 6. And it's a lot more of a fellowship group, and sometimes we go through studies, sometimes we just share life together, and right now it's becoming more of a children's ministry, so you're welcome to join.
Yeah, front row. Or you want to do Luke first?
Luke Dunnick, we have a Friday men's group that meets at Ginger's, and you're welcome to come. And it's we're moving to a bigger room, which is nice because we'd have a lot of young folks there too. So if it's a men's Bible study, but same thing with the server. I was doing a teaching on communion and asked her if she had stuff to do it. And that was like 3 years ago, and she's brought it every day since.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Is
it's
that
at
Monica?
Meets at 6
Is
to
that
8.
Monica?
Monica, yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Sweet lady. Yeah.
I'm Sam. I'm Luke's son. We do one right after this at 11:30 at their house, and we're going through a Roman study right now. It's a lot of young people.
So you leave here and go there, and it's a
we
long
have
day.
lunch, too.
Yeah.
Feed
Oh,
us.
you have lunch too. Mama feeds them. Nice job, Doug. I'm learning things.
So some guys and I meet up at Indie Coffee Roasters in Carmel on Thursday mornings at 8. And lately we've just been talking about a lot of business stuff, being businessmen, and raising kids. And so patience and discipline was this week's topic. And I got to put it in action with a... Go ahead and raise your hand back there.
Oh, which one? I'm curious. Had to been Spencer. Yeah, it could make anybody else? This is good. Matt, come on up here. That's amazing. And that's what we're talking about. It's just doing life. It's just being together. If you're not involved in this group right here, I highly encourage you to be. Just you saw the people stand up. The only way that you get in there is like actually go talk to them, or you can come talk to me and I'll point you in a direction. But I'll let you do the prayer time.